Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing so well. And welcome to my page. Welcome to my series of interviews that I don't feel like ever would end because it just started like so long ago. Now, I've really been wanting to interview Melissa for a time now. And Melissa stands for digital literacy, which is something that's so important. And I'm telling you guys today that we will be exploring Melissa's personality, how Melissa is, knowing more about her journey, and also knowing more about digital literacy. You can always tell anything that you want in the comment box and share it to your friends and family so they'll all also know who Melissa is and why digital literacy is a right of every human being, okay? So now let's have Melissa in, okay? Hi, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing? How's
I'm
everything been going on lately?
yeah, everything is I say good, but under all of the circumstances, obviously all of our lives have changed and things are very different than they used to be last year.
True though, but there's so many things going on, and I feel like us like connecting through the internet is something that's just so special. I mean, we've never met in person, and
No,
we
not
connected
yet.
over Messenger,
Not
and
yet.
whew. So let's have an introduction from yourself, and then we can start on from your childhood, like from like the real beginning.
All right, cool. I'll start with work first. So I am the global head of the IBM Protect Accelerator, which is a startup program at IBM. And I head up entrepreneur and student experience within one of our divisions. It's called IBM Z. And it's, for those of you that are familiar with IBM, you know that it's a technology company. And I work with a lot of early stage startups, so entrepreneurs who are still kind of, early in their journeys of building companies. And then I also help young people to inspire them to go into tech and stay into tech or stay in tech. And that could be learning how to code, it could be data science, or it could also just be understanding what tech is all about so that you can go on and do other jobs. I'm not an engineer, actually, which is funny because my whole life when it comes to volunteerism and the things that I do outside of work is all about digital literacy, because I believe that digital literacy is a human right, and that everyone should have the understanding of how technology works, how they can be safe online, and how they can bring about outcomes. And what I mean by that is economic outcomes, educational outcomes, healthcare outcomes, because whether you're a farmer in rural Pakistan or a teacher or an entrepreneur or even someone working in a fast food restaurant, you need to know, what it means to be safe online, how to manage your online footprint, how to handle cyberbullying, how to manage your emotional intelligence, how to decipher real from fake news. And this also impacts the elderly. Think about the political outcomes that come from people who may not necessarily understand the building blocks of what goes into real and fake news, and how to use your mind in a way that allows you to look at the media in front of you and question, is this real? Is this fake? Where did it come from? Is it accurate? Does it make sense? Am I being taken advantage of? Right? So I was born in the middle of the United States, in a state called Iowa. I lived there until I was 4, and then my parents moved to another state, also in the Midwest, called Missouri, and I stayed there until I finished high school. And then my parents said, "All right, you can go anywhere you want to go to college as long as it's right here." So I thought, okay, I'm thankful that I had an opportunity to go to university, but my parents were very focused on me staying home, and I wasn't sure, what I wanted to study, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. And my mom and I happened to take a trip to Europe, and I went to Amsterdam for the first time with my mother. And I really enjoyed being around people from, different cultures and different languages, and exploring different food and, different ways of thinking and doing and acting. And it really became this passion for me. So I came back and decided that I wanted to study international business, and I wanted to learn languages. So I studied Spanish. I went and I lived in Spain with a family so that I could learn how to speak Spanish. And I did a lot of study abroad trips before I finished my undergrad. I spent a lot of time in Europe. I spent a lot of time in Denmark, so in Scandinavia. I did a summer in Finland, where I studied business as well. And then I finished my undergrad, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. I didn't feel ready to go out and get a job. I felt like my education was very theoretical and not practical, and I wasn't sure what kind of job I would go into and what I would do exactly, and just didn't feel ready. So my parents didn't see the value in getting an MBA, and my parents didn't go to college. And so for them, they thought it was a bit of fluff, and that I needed to go out and work. So I decided to take out student loans and work so that I could pay for my education myself. So that's what I did. I moved to the UK, and I lived in London for a year and a half, studying international finance. I was going to go and work, but then I stumbled upon a program in the south of France that had a scholarship, and it enabled you to move right into a job. So I thought, okay, I guess I'll study again. And so I moved to the south of France. I got another master's, this one in supply chain or procurement, and I went to work for a German company back in the US. A lot of things changed, in my job, and things were, not exactly what I expected it to be. I moved from there and spent a number of years working in supply chain and supply chain consulting, and ended up landing a job on Wall Street. So I used to work on Wall Street, and now I work in tech.
That is so amazing, and that's like so many different places and so many different cultures and languages. So it was basically the trip that just kind of like reminded you, oh my God, this is like the kind of environment that I want to be in.
Yeah,
this is the kind of thing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I studied French. I've studied Italian. I speak Arabic, but like a Tunisian version of Arabic. I'm not perfect. I couldn't, lead a talk like this in Tunisian, but I'm pretty good. And my brain is really good with languages. And yeah, I have 3 kids. Zahra, Zahran, and Yumna. They live in Tunisia with their father, so they live in North Africa. It's been a while since I've seen them because of COVID, and I haven't been able to travel there because of many of the travel restrictions relating to COVID. So that's been really hard on all of us and my family. But we all, thanks to the internet and thanks to access to devices and access to digital skills, we can be a family from afar. Some perfect.
Exactly. And there's so many best friends, and there's so many people that I've seen that, I just kind of like met over texting. But, now I work with them personally, and, we have businesses together and we have collaboration. So I feel like it's such an amazing thing. Well, yes, we also have to be very, very careful on the internet. Now that's coming from my side, because something did happen with me recently as well.
Yes, and keeping yourself online is extremely important, and making sure that you know how to respond or not respond. And I've had some bad things happen to me, with being connected to certain individuals who might not have the best intentions. By being online and being active in social media, you will come across these things, and we don't always handle everything right, and other people don't always handle everything right. But understanding emotional intelligence, how to regulate your feelings, how to understand the feelings of others, really helps to have empathy, when others might be reacting to something, but there's always good and bad everywhere. And sometimes, you do come across bad people, and you need to know how to handle that, and, when to report, when to block, when to, be involved in a conversation or be involved with a specific individual.
Ah, I see. So, for starters, let's just begin right at the beginning. For I have a lot of people watching, but we need to know, what is digital literacy to you? What is your own definition of digital literacy?
Yeah, so digital literacy actually encompasses a number of different things, and I'm gonna see if maybe I can pull up something and actually share it with you. For me, yeah, I'm gonna just get up a presentation that I can share on my
Yeah,
screen.
you can share your screen. That is totally perfect.
So I'm going to. I've got a really interesting model. As I'm waiting for my presentation to load, I'll walk you through a couple things. So if you think about, I work in big tech, so obviously, digital skills is really important. And since I, run entrepreneur student experience within the IBM Z team, one of our divisions, for me, empowering students with, skills is really, really important, because how are you going to be part of the digital economy if you don't have the right skills? And I'm not saying that everybody is going to be an engineer. Not everybody is going to be a data scientist. Not everybody is going to learn to code. But everybody needs to have the basic building blocks of what these things mean. I'm working on my PhD. I'm in the dissertation phase of my PhD. I should defend my research, within the next 2 months. I'm in the final stage, and my research is on the digital inclusion of underserved and underrepresented communities. So that's indigenous communities, that's women and girls. In the US, for example, it's the Black community. It's the Latinx community, it's veterans, it's, all different kinds of people. And it's people who might be displaced in their current, role, or what we call the new collar economy, which is, or a new collar job, which is, you had this job, maybe you were working in a factory, for example, and your work, is no longer relevant, or your skills are no longer relevant. What are pathways that you can go to learn, new skills and to be reskilled? If you think about the importance of how artificial intelligence will change our jobs and our lives, having digital skills is something that will help to protect you as an employee, as a manager, as a leader. Even if you are working a minimum wage job, these are the things that will help you move from this kind of job into this kind of job. So I'm going to just share my screen. And let's see, share screen. There we go. So let me know if you can see my screen. Hopefully it's showing. It says it's showing, so I hope that's what it's doing. But if it's not,
see it.
Yeah, it says it's showing.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah. There we go. Now it's showing. Now I see it. Okay, cool. So this is really what it means to be digitally skilled, and this came from the world's first standard for what it means to be digitally intelligent. I am part of a working group within IEEE. So the largest engineering organization on the planet that has about 400,000 members worldwide. These are essentially the skills according to the IEEE, and I chair that group. So it's digital citizenship, it's usage and screen time. So how are you, are you being healthy online? Are you staying online? Are you using your mobile phone, your smartphone too much? Cyberbullying and safety, security, emotional intelligence, communication and managing your footprint, literacy and critical thinking. This is where coding and computational thinking and artificial intelligence come into play. And then rights and privacy management. What are your rights when it comes to, data protection, security, privacy, right? These all have separate components that go underneath them. I'm gonna avoid giving you a theoretical presentation on each and every one of these, but these are the basic building blocks of what it means to be digitally intelligent. And if you think about it, we have emotional intelligence, right? We have IQ, we have EQ, we should have DQ, which is digital intelligence. So there you go.
True. That is, I feel like it's very important to be digitally skilled because, at first, when I started working, just like 2 years ago though, like 2 years, so, I didn't really need all those digital skills. I mean, for as an entrepreneur, what I needed was to know how to make a pitch deck, and that I could do very well. So this is somewhere that I was like, you know what? I don't need to know these things. I don't need to know Facebook. I don't need to know Instagram. And then last year, I made it anyway after a lot of persuasive, messages and so many things. You should do it. You should do it. And I made it, and I ensured a lot of things. But then from the COVID-19, thing, when as soon as that started, I started going live. That is actually when I started doing interviews, and now I'm hitting almost 200 interviews. So, and there's so many of them done, and there's so many things that I have to do. At times I have to, I don't know, design posters, and I'm like, I'm not a graphic designer, but I have to do this,
Yeah.
And we have so many apps for that, but yeah, you have to have digital skills.
There are amazing tools out there that really help you to kind of learn how to do these things. Canva, for example, is an amazing tool to help you create presentations, posters, agendas, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, flyers, all kinds of stuff. Online collaboration, I like Mural. It's like a whiteboarding tool for sharing ideas and doing that in a group. Trello to manage, your timeline and your projects and activities and deliverables. Gosh, what else do I use? Airtable is another one that I'll use to keep track of like checklists and activities and things that need to get done. There's so many different tools that are out there that enable us to be productive. And in reality, being able to use these tools to make your life more productive and efficient. Now, I'm not saying that connectivity always or digital, access to, digital skills makes you more productive, because sometimes we become unproductive because we spend too much time online, but ultimately I think, having access to the internet, and I mean affordable internet, is incredibly important for, young people as well as the world, regardless of what your age is.
That is like so very true, because I was literally like 30 minutes ago, I was in a session that was basically on the Amazon Fire, and I see how much of even that would connect with digital, being digitally skilled, because I was like, okay, so there's so many need of paper, there's so much demand of these things, and if you're minimalist and when it comes to notebooks and so many papers around the entire world, which is a lot, when you reduce it, you could just switch to MS, Word, or you can switch to, there's so many things that you can just take notes on. And, like we don't need to have, day planners and stuff. You can just go with Trello. Yes, I literally just saw an ad on YouTube for Trello, so that's how
Trello's amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing, and plus, do you have to pay for that?
I think I don't know if I think there's a free option, but I may be mistaken. I think sometimes, in the US, and working as a professional, you don't often have the same struggles that a young student might have, or someone who, might be unemployed. And I think sometimes also when you're working in a big company, you get a lot of tools that they just give you, which is a luxury, and it's something that not everybody has access to. I know that Mural is free. Canva has a free option, but you don't have access to all of the great, power of, Canva, for example, unless you pay for it. And I think, there are a lot of amazing tools out there. Many of them are free, but also have a premium option that really gives you access. But once you look at all of these different tools, and if you come from an underserved, community and don't maybe, or you're a student not working and your parents don't have the, ability to pay for these, it's hard. It's hard to, learn new skills and bring them into practice, especially if they're not being taught in school. And a lot of these things are not being taught in school. You figure them out on your own.
Yeah. In fact, I feel like digital literacy now, even my school has now realized how important that is, because everything just kind of is like our life, our entire, student life, student career, whatever that's called, okay? That just moves on Microsoft Teams, okay?
Yeah.
And because I was already being in meetings, I started my career when I was 11, so I do have some experience in, being in meetings, keeping myself muted. And whenever you're trying to say something to your mom, be muted, okay? You don't want your conversation going public. I'll have my camera on, respond to the chat. There's so many things that's going on now. The class is
Speaking of that, let's look at the chat. Let's look at the chat. What's going on? Oh, it's digital skills. How's it going?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Just zoned out for a second.
Timer. Oh, Timer tells me, how about explaining about IBM Open PTech? Hey, Timer. Yeah, so it looks like my colleague Timer is online, and I'm glad he reminded me of this. There is a really interesting program specifically designed for young folks in Pakistan. And if you have anyone who's listening from other countries, there are also really interesting digital skill building opportunities available through IBM. You can find it by going to ptech.org. So PTECH.org, ptech.org. And it's a great place to learn, to explore. There are also some really interesting skill building opportunities through the broader IBM ecosystem. There is a program that I'm doing right now where for every person who finishes level 1 in this platform, we'll feed 2 children for a day. So there's a nice tech for good angle, and you can find that at Z. And I don't think I can type this in, but maybe you can type it in for me. So ibm.biz/, so type that in.
Again.
ibm.biz.
Okay.
/Z.
Start from the beginning.
No worries. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it in the chat window. How's that?
Oh, yeah. That's like really cool. I can just like give it out to people there. Yeah. I just have to copy paste. That's all.
And then let me add in the other one.
I'm gonna do that.
There you go. I gave you 2 links. These are 2 great ways of learning digital skills.
Okay, one link is this. That's on the screen. Okay.
Yep, and that is my program. And just remember,
Melissa's program.
Yes, go out and register. Go out and register. You'll learn some digital skills. And then we've got another one that is really interesting. We're going to do some really cool things in Pakistan. And it's all around young people, getting you digitally skilled, learning new skills, and enabling you to prepare for the future of work. Which, who doesn't want to get prepared and learn new skills? Like we all do, right?
That is so for sure. And there's so many things that's going on right now, and I feel like being digitally skilled in school life, in your professional life and personal life, like just you shared, at times your family's away and you have to Zoom call them, or I still remember that when in the COVID-19 full lockdown, we couldn't go out to our cousin's place, and my dad, he always scheduled Zoom meetings for us, and then we'd had all the cousins, from all around the world, also once here in Pakistan, and we'd be on a Zoom meeting, and then, I'll be like, oh my God, I saw this very cool thing on Instagram, and I'll share my screen and show it to them. So it's just so cool. And plus it's just, being skilled for the future, because we never know what the future holds. We never knew that this thing was going to come. and I feel like it has taught us humans a good lesson.
Yeah. Really the importance of digital skills, the importance of connectivity, and how companies and governments and people need to transform and be part of the digital economy. You can't sit back and wait, or you will be left behind, and you will in your life.
That is so true, and I feel like now that we have, even the toddlers right now, they will be more digitally skilled than ever, because my brother, he's so good at this, digital stuff. I mean, he voice searches his cartoons and he runs YouTube. He knows he literally, I know he's sitting right there now, because he opens up my page, because it's logged in from my mobile, so he knows how to go to my page, and he sees all the interviews and all the sessions that I do, and then he likes them and hearts them, and at times he gets angry, angry because I'm not mentioning his name, and then he like an angry face right there, angry face. So yeah, it's just so fun, right? And so cute at the same time.
Awesome. What other questions do you have, or what other questions do you have, or does anyone else have? Because it's time for lunch.
Okay, so the last thing that I have for you to share is how to contact you. Now, you've shared for the programs, but how to personally contact you.
I know not everybody is on Twitter, but Twitter is the best way to contact me. So if you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter. And it's Mentor Africa with a K. I just added it in, but if you switch it back to my my name, my Twitter profile is up there. So if you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter. That's the best way to contact me. I would give out my email address, but I am terrible with email. Yep. So Twitter is the best place. At Mentor Africa with a K. And everyone's like, Twitter. I'm also on Instagram.
Perfect.
Instagram too.
Yeah, please do very fast at typing. There's a second and you type it,
If women get sent back to the typing pool, I will rule the typing pool.
Yeah, okay, so tell me, now we have digital Pakistan here, so the government isn't involved with this one, and here, we're engaging and we're going right to the grassroots level, we're going to the rural areas, and we're going to all sorts of areas from Pakistan, and the community themselves, they're basically engaging in digital activities and enrolling themselves in workshops and in courses, and there's so many things that are basically happening there. And now I feel like it is so great that this is happening, and I'll of course let you know more about this and how
I'm super
take inspiration and stuff. There's always room for improvement. And tell me, how can I, remaining in Pakistan as a 13-year-old, be part of IBM?
So I would like to maybe look at seeing if we could do an event with your classmates. I can do a training program for your classmates if you're interested in that. That's one thing. I think the other two, I gave you two different kind of self-learning opportunities. I'm kicking off an ideathon in December during Computer Science Week. Would you like to be one of my ambassadors? I think we lost power. Did we lose power?
Yes, we did, but my dad's bringing the torch for me. So
no worries.
Yeah, that happens. That has actually happened with me before, so I'm not so shocked. Now that I was mentioning IBM, wait a second. Thank you. I'm just gonna keep it here. Do you see me well?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, nice. So, how can IBM support Digital Pakistan, this initiative of going right to the rural areas where people are still learning what computers are? They're telling them, they're also supporting them in workshops, they're especially they're targeting women, especially women. They're empowering so many women in Pakistan. I'm so happy when I see this.
So I would say I have an ideathon that's going to be kicking off. It's a global ideathon. It's geared toward young people. It'll be kicking off the week of December 7th, probably right on December 7th. It hasn't launched yet. So what I would like to do is I would like to, on December 7th or before December 7th, or maybe right around that time, we can get back on, we can do a mini interview, and we can help spread the word to young people to participate in the ideathon. And essentially what it's going to include will be, you know, what's your coding story? Or if you don't have a coding story, why don't you have a coding story? And what I mean by that is, why did you decide to learn to code? Or what is it that inspires you to think about why you should learn to code? A mini video challenge, and then we're going to have a skill building day for young people to come in and learn about how you can bring purpose and passion into your career, storytelling and personal branding, and community building. How can you create a community? We'll also talk about digital skills. What does it mean to be digitally skilled? We'll do a hands-on exercise that will be all around enterprise computing. So what are some jobs that you could have? What are some of the skills that you need to move into some of these jobs? And then we'll go through a hands-on activity where we'll just tell you, okay, do this, now do this, now do this, now do that. So if anyone, you know, is a little bit scared about, wow, I've never done anything in tech, that's okay. We'll walk you through it. So it'll launch on December 7th. There's nowhere to go yet to read more information because it's brand new, and I'm telling you before it is launched.
I'm so thankful that you're telling us like beforehand.
Yeah, right?
Which is pretty personal, right? And I'm just so glad that you're telling this right now. And I would love to be part of this program. I mean, as a participant, as maybe helping you out. Anything.
Yeah,
Or just getting people on board.
Come on, be one of my senators. Help me spread the word. Help me think about the ideas. Help me think about how to make it land right for students who are your age and who are experiencing things that I'm not experiencing now. I work with a lot of students who I see as my mentors. In many ways, I'm their mentor, but in many ways, they're my mentor. So we have this mutual mentor-mentee relationship where, I've had a lot of experiences that they have not had, and they are currently living things that I didn't live through, or I can't see, now because I'm not 13, I'm not 16, I'm not 19. So I'd love to establish this relationship with you, and we can keep the conversation going, and you can help to guide big companies like IBM to think about, how do we attract more young people to be part of the digital economy? How do we get more people excited about going into tech? And how can we make it resonate more? How can we make it more exciting for rural communities, give them the access that they need to the skills, but also thinking about how do we empower more women and girls through technology, whether that's learning to code or learning other skills that will enable them to be part of the future.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right?
And there's actually ideas that I have, ideas that I want to pitch to people that maybe, because what I'm looking for in my ideas is the investment. That is where it comes of, I'm like, oh my God, no, I can't invest. I don't have the money. Right. And
it's hard.
There's so many people that are ready to invest in so many ideas that are empowering women and are digital. So and on community building, I can get you actually a very cool person on community building from, I forgot the name of the country. I don't know why I zone out on this country.
That's okay.
But I'm the ambassador. It's the MeV game, and it's a community building board game. So it's very interesting. All right. And yes, I can connect you with a few more people. Now we got into our entire kind of like our zone, we know more about each other. So perfect. And now we are over the time for an interview already, but it was really fun having an interview with you.
Thank you.
It was really nice knowing so much about digital literacy and how important it is. I mean, I already thought it was important, but it's a, like a level of respect for digital literacy. It's just, kind of like, that just happened to the level of respect.
My job is done. I think, the big thing is people don't often realize that digital literacy is not just learning to code. It's not being an engineer.
Yeah.
It's also like media literacy. It's, again, emotional intelligence and all kinds of different things that really go into what it means to take part in online stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, it's just so perfect right there. And because I'm well connected in Pakistan and well connected in the youth of Pakistan, come on, I'm 13, so I am the youth of Pakistan.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know so many things that I don't know, and let's share our knowledge together and empower one another to. There's this saying that I said that I heard from a friend of mine, and it says, "Empowered females empower other females."
Yeah. Yes, that is just so true. I don't know, it just gets me emotional. I have my emotional moments. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Melissa, for coming. It was amazing having you here. I hope that you can stay back for a sec so we can talk about something.
Yeah.
And definitely, so we are going to be having an interview on the program that's starting on December 7th.
Yes, we
So
are.
definitely we're gonna do that. And if anybody wants to be part of these things, I did put out the 2 links on the screen. But if anybody wants it personally, I can post it. Okay, I can just post about it. There is no problem. Okay. Thank you so much everybody for watching. Thank you so much everybody for welcoming and loving and caring and respecting, first of all, us so much, as me as an interviewing Melissa as our guest today, and really, really sharing some inspiring words. Thank you so much, Melissa, that you're here. It's like really nice because the interview, and I was just so excited for this interview.
Good.
I feel like, oh my God, there's so much more to come to this, this friendship, and then this kind of turning into a mentor and a mentee relationship. So I'm looking forward to this.
Good.
And I'm looking forward to all the things that are yet to come. Thank you so much everybody for watching. And with this, I will be ending the broadcast, and I will let you know a lot more things.
Bye.
Okay, thank you so much, and we'll be back again. Okay, bye.